yeah, obviously it was a good innings, and yeah, it kind of deserved the win at the end of the day. Yeah, I think they obviously just felt that they weren't at a pass score, and they obviously decided to put their foot down, and I think they just caught us a bit off guard there, going a bit earlier than we thought they would. And yeah, I think any time a team scores 60 runs in 2 overs in the middle of the innings, it kind of catches the fielding team by surprise, and you kind of feel like you're chasing the game and behind the game. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. No, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I think it's a knockout game, so nobody wants to lose. I think everyone's here to compete and win. And I think at the end of the day, everyone has their way of doing it and needing to stay in the fight. And sometimes a guy's to pick a fight to stay in the game or feel like he has to get into the game. And tonight that just worked for Classy a bit better than it worked for everyone else. And yeah, I think at the end of the day, whatever happened. And as I said, everyone's here to win and compete. Yeah, I think it was one of those kind of ebbs and flow seasons, as you say. I think we had a lot of rain-affected games, and it's quite difficult to get a rhythm as a team going. But yeah, we clicked quite nicely towards the end of the tournament. Obviously helped us get into this position, and we had a good win yesterday. Unfortunately, as today, obviously it didn't go our way. But yeah, I think it's just important for us to kind of remember the how we're getting ourselves into these kind of positions come next year. Yeah, I think I wouldn't say there's anyone that's a frontline bowler or something. I think it's just he feels the best option now is maybe a left armer with 2 right-handers batting or something like that. But yeah, I think every time you bowl, it's 6 balls of responsibility to try and change the game. And in T20 cricket, as we saw, 1 or 2 overs can change the game right around. So yeah, I think it's kind of a cool responsibility every time. It'll be like, here's 6 balls, try and change the game kind of thing. So I think I kind of like that feeling. Yeah, I think last year, obviously, I think a few teams and few players just tried to settle into their teams and things like that. And I think this year we saw a lot of players playing with a lot more freedom and things like that. And I think it was cool to see that there were a lot more higher scores this year. So yeah, obviously the pitch has got a bit better, which is not cool for bowling, but it's good for cricket and good for the crowds. And in that, I think the crowds were absolutely electric again this year. I think they were even better than last year. And I think the SA20 league did say that it's going to be bigger and better than last year, and that didn't disappoint. Yeah, firstly I'd say I'm jealous that it's not us. But yeah, obviously I wish them the best of luck, and I hope that it's a good final for everyone watching. Hopefully because obviously I live in Cape Town, hopefully I can be there watching as well, and hopefully it's a good game. I think the league kind of deserves a good final this year, like a nice high-scoring final or something like that. So yeah, hopefully we'll get that. Yeah, I think we have a bit of a different opinion there. I think I started the season not so great, with a few average performances, and obviously took it upon myself to try and be a lot better for the team, because obviously I'm kind of the guy that sets a tone at the end of the day. So yeah, obviously made sure I set the tone while running hard for the team and kind of just leave everything out there every time I play. So yeah, obviously I got a bit better towards the end. I don't really ever look at wickets or anything like that. I kind of just look at impact towards the game and kind of energy that I create in the field while I'm bowling. So yeah, it was cool to see that every time I bowled, the team was nice and behind me, and it's a nice feeling. I did not even notice that, if I'm honest. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm pretty much in my own world all the time. But yeah, I didn't even notice, but I'll be sure to let him know that it's been noticed.
I think we kind of knew the wicket had something in it. So yeah, it was important to have a partnership. That was the first way of thinking. And then yeah, we had a couple of matchups, and it came off today, and I just kind of one thing led to the next. I didn't think we at one stage went, okay, we're gonna pull the trigger now. It just kind of happened. I came in and I scored quite freely up front. I think I got a couple of soft balls which got my innings going, and that naturally got Classy going. And as we see, when Classy's on fire, it's not very easy to stop. And yeah, luckily he's on our team. I wish I knew, because I try and get that out of him every game, to be honest. But I think it's got something to do with the celebrations or something from the JSK team. I think if you've watched them, the whole SA20, there's quite extravagant celebrations, and I don't know what you want to call it. So I think yeah, he's from the old school. He's still old school. You do things properly and you kind of stay humble. And I think if you look at the way he goes about his game, he's arguably the best in the world at the moment. And yeah, he's the same classy as he was before. So yeah. Yeah. I know. Look, I'm all for celebrations and all for Dale Steyn, mad eyes and that type of thing. But I mean, with everything, there's a limit. And if you kind of go out there and you celebrate the way they've been celebrating, you're going to make some people angry. But it's not about other people. I think they do those things for themselves. And that's what they believe in, and that's what they want to do to represent themselves on the park. So, yeah, I can't really care if someone celebrates or not. I got a send-off by Buren Hendricks, and he's one of my best friends. So it's just how it goes, I don't look too deeply into those things. But it does make some people angry. I think especially if it becomes a bit of an arrogance thing, I think then, there's always a line with everything, and I think some people might cross it sometimes. The phone call stuff, I think people take that the wrong way from Shamsi, but that's just Shamsi being Shamsi. That's what brings the best out of him. So, yeah, every man for himself. So you're asking what the consistency was. Where does it come from? Yes. Well, I think if you look at our team, we've had pretty much the same team every game. We've had one or two guys come in, internationals, Stoyni, Noor, who had a massive impact straight away, and they were match winners. But I think it's been different guys putting up their hands. Matty B carried us with the batting for such a long time. Then Classy was a superstar. And then Noor obviously took like 15 wickets in 3 games. He was incredible. Junior's come in and stuck his hand up. So I think it's more everybody wants to contribute, and at the moment it's not a one-man show. It's everybody trying to find a way to contribute to the game, and that's very similar to the Sunrisers. There's no one that goes 100, has even scored 100 other than Geordie in the comp, and Aiden, Tom Abel. There's so many names, Stubbsy, who's consistently put in performances, and I think that's what kind of wins you these comps in a way, is consistently different people putting up their hands, because that's how you win games out of funny positions. And I think that's what, if you look at 9 innings today, the way Glassy played, to score 70 out of 30 balls is just a joke on that pitch. And once again, he showed why he's so good, but he put the team first, and that's the most important thing. You can always look at it and go, I wish I did more, but I think the important thing was, I knew coming into the comp, I had a conversation with Lance, and he said to me, I'm going to play different roles depending on the situations of the game, depending on what the team needs at different times. I should be as versatile as I can be, and try and fill as many gaps as I can when I get the chance. I might not be somebody that bats at 4 or opens the batting every game. It's all got to do with matchups and that type of thing. And I think the last couple of games, the recipe has kind of been, if we lose early wickets, I go in the power play and then kind of take it deep as I can. So, yeah, I don't know why I've played well, other than that I've really worked hard at my game and trying to get better all the time and trying to adapt in situations. It's nice to have people like Classy to learn from. Marcus Stoynis, I try to pick his brain as much as I can. Nicky P, Matty B, guys who are consistently performing. I try to kind of pick up things from them and then just try and play my way, in a way. Because at some stage I have to also have a blueprint that I can try and be as consistent as I can be. Yeah, but I'm still learning, man. All the time I'm trying to get better, so I can't tell you why or when or what or whatever. Well, I think in these comps you're always going to lose some games. These really strong teams, and you due to have an off day somewhere. And yeah, luckily ours came after a couple of wins, so we were still in a good position on the log, and we could fight back. We knew we were 1 or 2 wins away from getting to the qualifiers. But most importantly, I think it's the environment that the guys have created. We've got some really good management to really try and create a good culture in the environment, in the team, a good environment for everybody to try and thrive. So there's no unnecessary pressure, and even the 12 men, you don't ever hear them speaking badly or you're nitpicking at things off the field. So I think that's a big part of why we've gotten to the final. I think if you look at the loss against the Sunrisers, it was an off day for us, and to be able to bounce back again is just shows what we have in the camp and what the culture is like and the environment is like. So yeah, I think that's everything in a team, to be honest. I think if you look at successful teams over the last how many years, with whatever sport you look at, you've got superstars, of course, but you've got a team where people are playing for the team. I think that is everything in any winning team. If people start nitpicking or wishing people fail or whatever, I don't mean, there's many negative things you can look at. I think then it's a downward spiral. You might win 1 or 2 games. I mean, every team has a match winner somewhere. But I think overall to win comps, it doesn't take one person. And that comes down to the culture of the team and how you look after everybody in the team and how the management looks after the players and how the players look after the management in the end. Because, I mean, there's many opportunities to kind of do things the wrong way. So, but I think that's everything in the team. And hopefully it's strong enough to get us through that final.
How do you prep for the final,
There's nothing we can do. We fly tomorrow and we play the next day. So it's not like we have any practice. We'll have a meeting, work out exactly how we're going to go about things the next day. But in terms of skill, in terms of mindset, that's up to the individual now to try and get up for it. Similar to this game after our previous loss. It's up to how we're going to be up for the fight and fight as hard as we can and scrap where we can to win the game. Well, I mean, that's a massive compliment. Thank you. But, I don't necessarily see it like that. I think that's kind of my role in this team is, if we lose wickets in the power play, then, you have to kind of protect Lars. He's the best batsman in the world. So that's my opportunity to go out there and represent myself as well as I can and try and put a match-winning performance in for the team. So I don't really look at it as like saving grace or anything like that. For me, it's more, what do I have to do in this situation to try and get us in the best position possible? And sometimes things go your way. I've been crucified many times in my life that I can't bat, I can't bowl, I can't field. And that was like a month ago. I was told I'm the worst thing ever. So to be where I am now, where somebody's saying I'm a saving grace, it just shows you how fragile it is out there. But more importantly, how important it is to focus on what you can do for the team and not worry too much about the nonsense.